Hello, my friends. Welcome. It's Jill Ortiz, and you're here in my Empowered Fitness community for women 40 plus. And today is Wednesday, and so that means that today we're going to do our weekly Q&A session, answering all of your burning questions regarding fat loss, exercise, nutrition, menopause, all the things. And I'm excited to have you here. I'm not having hot flashes. I was just walking my dogs outside, and I live in South Florida, and it is hot. It feels like a sauna. It felt like a sauna at 9 a.m. This morning, and so I'm happy to be here. When you hop on, let me know if you're here live or on the replay, and let me know where you live. Do you live somewhere where it's hot, where it's cool, where it's beautiful fall? Are you seeing the beautiful fall foliage yet? I think it might be a little bit early. I personally am from Massachusetts, but lived with my family in New York the last several years, and then 2 years ago, we moved down to Florida for the hot life, where nobody knows if you're having hot flashes or not because everybody's just sweaty. So anyways, hi, it's nice to see you. So what we do is I'm in here every single Wednesday answering your questions, and the questions that I answer are things that come into me during the week. I actually had 2 questions that I had written down that had come in during the week, and then I answer the questions that you ask when you enter the group. And so I've got a whole slew of people here that I brought from my big workbook of entries. And number one, I ask everybody, what's holding you back from getting results in your journey? Because we want to be able to get past those humps, past those things that are holding us back, that continue to be patterns for us and holding us back. We really want to get past those. And there tends to be a lot of the same things over and over. People saying the same recurring themes are holding them back. And so what I like to do is I like to create webinars and programs and masterclasses on these things and reels and blog posts, and help you understand the techniques for overcoming your biggest roadblocks. Now, I did start creating a presentation today. I got to remember what I called it. It'll be called Conquering Weight Loss for Women After 40, 5 Overlooked Pitfalls and How to Achieve Lasting Success. So I'm putting that slide presentation together now, and I think it might be October 3rd. I think that's actually a Wednesday that I'll be doing that. Maybe it's October 2nd. October 2nd, I'll be doing that presentation, and so I'll give you the info on that when we get closer to that, because there are some big key things that are holding you all back that you don't even realize you can overcome pretty easily, pretty simply, if you just have the answers and the knowledge, right? And so when I kind of run across, I'm just going to read off some things that are holding you ladies back, okay? So Rebecca says life. Monica says nutrition. Karina says finding the time and energy to do exercise and probably meal prep too. Madeline says menopause. Lisa says she's a procrastinator. Dina says expenses due to bills, and specifically medical bills. Cheryl says she herself and I is holding her back. Katrina says exercise. She says she eats clean though, and she is 66. Sue says laziness. Kim says I don't know where to start. Crystal says time management. Lisa also says I don't know where to start. And I have a lot of Lisas today. And the third Lisa, I have Lisa H, Lisa R, and Lisa V. Lisa V says, excuses and a lack of commitment and putting myself last. This is an incredible variety of reasons. What is the reason that you identified with? You can tell me in the comments below. What do you think it is that's holding you back from getting success? These are all really valid reasons, but they're all things that we can work on, right? And so I'm going to give you an example. So sometimes people will tell me that self-sabotage in the evening, right? That's kind of me too. I could be great all day, and then at the evening, I can totally mess it up. I can eat all the things. I can make up any calories I wasn't eating during the day or during the week or on Friday or on Saturday. It tends to come back around, right? And then it just evens out in the end. And so what you need to do is, number one, identify what's holding you back. And then number two is identify techniques for stopping that behavior, right? Or for helping that thing. So for me, if it's night snacking, then I can give you 5 things to do to stop night snacking. Number one is tell everybody in your family, if you see me in the kitchen, slap me, right? You can brush your teeth after dinner. You can do activities. So you could go hop on a Peloton bike after dinner instead of eating more food. You can make sure that you've eaten more during the day or more at dinner time. You can have a drink like a tea, hot or cold, something that keeps your mouth busy, right? Or even your hands. Maybe you'd have to keep your hands busy. Maybe you identify what is the activity I do when I start eating all this food. Or maybe you have an emotional connection with it. So you start brainstorming all the things and then you start attacking them and you say, okay, I'm going to make nighttime my best time. That is the time that I'm going to do the best at this thing. And once you've conquered that biggest thing that is the biggest deterrent from you getting success, then you can really go far, right? Sometimes it takes having a coach, having a push, having an accountability mechanism. Sometimes it's having ideas and understanding why, what's really the cause of this thing that's holding you back, right? Would you be a procrastinator if you, let's see, Lisa H., if you got on a call with me and said, I procrastinate because I don't have a plan and I don't know what to do and there's so many things out there that I don't know which one to do. And what if you and I talked and I said, well, I know exactly what you got to do and I'll make you the plan and then I'll help you stick to it. Then are you going to be a procrastinator anymore? No, because I'm going to kick your butt if you don't stick to it, in a very friendly, kind, loving way. So that's what we have to do is we have to maybe identify together, and then we have to go for that thing that is holding you back the most. So you guys tell me, what if you weren't one of the ladies who I spoke of, or if you heard your excuse, what was it that is holding you back from getting your results? Okay, you can comment below. And then I have some individual questions that came up, which we'll go over now. So Rebecca says, how do I lose belly fat, right? So generally, prior to working with the 40 plus community, I would have said, well, fat doesn't, locate to any particular place, right? Our fat cells, I wish I had a little thing I could write up here. Maybe I can, I don't know. So let's say I have a little circle, right? Hold on. I can write it on my little thing here. I have a notepad. All right. Here, blank page. So let's say I have a fat cell, right? And this is based on how I eat today. And let's say I hone in on my nutrition and I no longer eat ridiculous amounts of processed foods and too much food and too much sugar and too much fat, and I start eating right. Over time, this fat cell represents every single fat cell in my body. They're all the same, right? And so eventually, this fat cell shrinks down. And now it looks like that. And all the other fat cells in my body look like that. So in the past, what I would say is that the key to getting from here to here is by shrinking all the fat cells, not just saying, how do I get rid of the belly fat, but how do I shrink all the fat cells? Because your body will kind of all shrink at the same rate, right? So if I start losing weight over the next 4 weeks, which I will be because I'm starting a new plan on Monday. I shouldn't say a new plan, next phase on Monday. All my fat cells are going to shrink because I will be on a plan that is meant to shrink the fat cells, right? And so all of my fat cells are going to shrink. So you're going to see my arms get smaller. You see my face get thinner, right? My butt, my belly, all of it, my inner thighs, right? But the one change now is that after 40, we start getting this cortisol belly, right? And so that's belly fat. That's fat that is localized to the belly because of cortisol production. And the cortisol production gets out of whack because we no longer have the same levels of hormones that used to act as our armor against the cortisol creating fat stores. And we start losing our estrogen and our progesterone and our testosterone. And that is what causes the excess belly fat. So then, in addition, because you can still control with diet and exercise, but we have a third component now, which is stress and cortisol production, which also has to do with fitness. Stress, think about yourself on a treadmill trying to keep up. That's creating stress. Or sitting in a chair for 10 hours straight, that creates stress. And then think about what you're eating. If you're eating a bunch of candy and processed foods and diet sodas and all kinds of junk, that creates stress. Or not eating enough, that creates stress too. So we now have to not only have the fitness piece in order, also the nutrition piece, and now that stress piece. And that's what I do with my clients, okay? All right, that's how you lose belly fat. Another big part of losing belly fat is raising your basal metabolism. And so that is your base metabolism, whether you are doing activity in a day or not. It's what your body runs at. And when you have more body fat and less muscle, your basal metabolism down here, when you build lean muscle, your basal metabolism is up here. So that means that I could eat a piece of pizza and my metabolism is humming and I don't gain weight. But if you haven't built any muscle and your basal metabolism's down here and you eat like a piece of pizza, you might see some weight gain, right? Because your body is not as good as using those calories and burning them, okay? All right, next question. Let me know if that was helpful. Did you like that? Okay. And I want to remind you too, before the next question, I put a link. So I put 2 links actually into the post here. The first link is for you to schedule a call with me. If you haven't had a game plan call with me, this is what we do. It's kind of like this. But I take in lots more information about you. I ask you lots of questions. I get to know you. And then you and I get to work on what is your thing that's holding you back and what do you need to do and what answers are you seeking so that you have real clarity on what your next steps need to be. And then I will make sure that you are moving along and taking action on those steps. I love action takers. And so I try to encourage women to take action when they have a goal. There's no reason having a goal if you're not going to take any action towards it to achieve it. I'm a big goal achiever and I like to go beyond. And so that's why I like to help other women as well do the same, because I feel like I can kind of carry you a little bit until you get strong enough to do it on your own. And then the other link that I put in is the link to our Fit and Fast challenge. So if you're brand new and you maybe just came in this week, then you missed it. In the last few weeks, we've been trying out workouts of mine, short workouts. We've been talking about how to get success. And then I opened up the registration for my current Fit and Fast challenge. It's a 4-week challenge, although I give you 5 weeks to complete it. And it's 5 workouts a week. They're each 20 minutes. It's all focused on strength training. We've got a lot of ladies are doing abs as well with my Jill's Killer Abs program. We've got a complete nutrition framework that I teach you, mindful nutrition or intuitive eating, it's also known as. And there's so much support. And we have raffles every single week. And we have a group of ladies who started that on Monday, and they are doing so good. They're checking in daily. They're telling us what they eat. And they're telling us when they got their workout done and what kind of weights they used. And I know Sahara, she's got new weights coming today because she was like, yeah, that wasn't enough weight. So I ordered more weights to come. And it's been such a really great energy in there. I know these ladies are going to find that the consistency that's going to get them brand new results, and they're very excited. And although we're now 3 days in, you can join us still. And so I put the link to the challenge because you can absolutely hop in that challenge. You can catch up because we've got 5 workouts. They're only 20 minutes each. And we're only 3 days in, and you still got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday left in this week. And it's okay if you're behind because we're adding a whole extra week on the end in case something comes up for people, and it just takes 5 weeks to do the program. So you should still hop in if you need something and you think that this is a good fit, okay? All right, back to questions. So Karina wants to know, when you're committed, when do you start seeing results? And I've got to say, everybody's different. But when people commit to working with me, I have such a impactful first 5-day plan for them that they generally see the results in that first 5 days. And so generally it's somewhere like a 5-pound weight loss. They see a massive gain in energy, motivation, excitement, and they start to really see the difference. And they start to see a lot of bloat reduction. They feel a lot better with the foods that they're eating. But I also, here's the funny thing, is I've had people who will sign up on a Wednesday, right? So if you book a call with me, and I have some time today, usually Wednesdays, we don't have soccer, neither of my kids have soccer. And so we're around tonight, and I'm around the rest of the day. And so if you book a call with me and you sign up for any of my programs today, or my one-on-one coaching, or a group program, or a do-it-yourself kind of program, a lot of people will tell me that before they even start on Monday, they've already lost weight. They've already felt the shift in their resolve and their excitement, and that they see some weight loss, some change in themselves just by making a commitment for and to themselves. And so I love that. And I always try to give everybody, gifts and little incentives and trainings and things right off the bat to acknowledge and excite them for what's coming up. So I think you can see results right away. I think that when I do my one-on-one coaching program, I commit everybody to at least 3 months. That is my minimum, because if you and I are working one-on-one, then I take a personal I have a personal investment in your success, because I'm not okay if my clients don't succeed. I take that personally. I put it on my own shoulders. I think I sent an email today or yesterday about my own anxiety, or at least I wrote it yesterday, about how I create my own anxiety because I set the bar very high for myself and others. And so I kind of create my own anxiety because I set the bar so high and I really want to achieve. And so it's the same thing when I take on a new client. I really want to see their success. So I require, for a one-on-one relationship, your commitment for 3 months, because I think that it truly takes that 3 months to really be solid in your consistency, in your accountability, in building massive momentum, in learning multiple frameworks, is what I call it, for nutrition, right? So multiple nutrition tools, so that you can really grasp all the different things when you need them, right? So if you're really good at one nutrition framework or program when you're at home, but then you go on vacation and you don't know what to do, kind of stuck, right? But what if you had another program that was really good for vacations, right? And so you have a lot of tools. So you need time to learn and practice those tools. Same thing for fitness. If you're with me for 3 months, you can do 3 of my fitness programs, and that will get you results in the first program, more results in the second program, more results in the third program. So I think 3 months is amazing, but you can see a ton of change in 4 weeks. You can see a ton of change in 5 days. And a lot of the times, it's a matter of the effort you're putting in and how aggressive you want to plan to be. And I will tell you too that I just joined a 4-week shred from another coach, because I felt like I've been doing really well to build muscle. But with regards to dropping the fat, I don't have as much resolve on my own, right? Because that really comes down to the nutrition. And what I've learned is that in order to really see a massive transformation in 4 weeks' time, it is going to take a ridiculous commitment on my part to eating very low calorie and exercising a ridiculous amount each day. And so I'm interested, because I've never, even when I've been on bikini competition stages, I have never done this in a 4-week period in such a short amount of time and so aggressively. So I am very interested. I'm not going to endorse it and talk, and tell you to do this until I truly believe that it is healthy. And I think that's another thing, is you have to buy into what you're doing, and you have to truly come to believe that you're doing it in the right way. And so I think that takes time to see, can I see the results and can I keep the results, right? So I have a lot of skepticism when it comes to this plan that I invested in, but I'm going to trust the coach. I invested, so I want to be in it, right? I'm going to do what she says as much as I can, as closely as I can. And I understand perfection is not required. And I'm not great at perfection, but I think it's important to trust the process. And then I will report back to you and let you know what I thought of it. Okay. Stacy wants to know, what are natural ways to help menopause? So I'm not sure if you might be saying that you want to improve some of your symptoms of menopause, Stacy. I know she says she wants to lose weight, feel confident, improve her health, and gain energy. So energy might be one of those things that she's lacking. It's possible she's doing the night sweats and the hot flashes, possible mood swings, lack of energy, lack of sleep, that kind of stuff. And so, and it could be weight gain, right? And so for those of you who are unaware, I did create a menopausal metabolism reboot program, which is a 35-day program to help you, number one, get quick weight loss, to reverse the symptoms immediately. I've had clients within the first 5 to 7 days say, oh my God, my sleep is better than the last couple years. My energy is better than ever. My cravings have gone away. I'm in a much better mood, and I dropped 5 pounds, and I don't feel bloated every time I eat now. Thank you so much. And then we go into a 30-day protocol to make sure that we are really regulating our blood sugar and reducing stress, while also building lean muscle in our body to raise that basal metabolism. So natural ways to help menopause are going to be to, number one, eat right for menopause, which you will learn in the reboot. Number two, exercise for menopause, which you'll learn in the reboot. And number three, stress management, which you will learn the importance of in the reboot. If you want the reboot, just comment reboot below and I'll send you the link. I didn't put that in the post because I didn't know that question was coming. But if you want to do my menopausal metabolism reboot program, just drop reboot below, or you can message me and I will get that in your hands, okay? Let's see. Dina asks, how can I slow weight gain? So I don't know why you would still want weight gain, Dina, right? Why don't we stop it? Why don't we reverse it? That's going to be getting your exercise in order, doing the right exercise to create a new body, a new physique, a new makeup that will do the work for you. So that means building lean muscle. It means regulating your blood sugar and eating appropriately, which I think one of the questions I also had, one of the things that I often think about is when people say on a call with me, or I don't know what's going on, I eat really healthy, but I can't lose weight. Healthy eating does not equate to weight loss. I don't know if you understand what that means, but like I could eat all the healthy food in the world and still not lose weight, because you can still overeat healthy food. You can eat foods in the wrong, amounts. And so you want to make sure that you are eating properly with regards to what, how much, when, right? Let's say you eat all healthy foods, but you've done a crazy radical intermittent fasting program that only lets you eat 4 hours a day. Then that is not going to help you lose weight. Even if you eat 5,000 calories worth of healthy food, or if you eat 1,000 calories of healthy food in that 4 hours, neither of those is going to be an effective plan for weight loss, okay? So to slow the weight gain down, number one, we can do stress reduction. Number two, we can introduce a proper strength training program. And number three, we have to get our nutrition in line with our goal. If it's simply to slow down the gain, there you go. Maybe you wanted to gain weight. If you want to lose weight, then we have to address that properly too and come up with a plan that makes sense for you particularly, which is why I like to do the game plan calls, because I don't think that every person is going to fall into one bucket, right? And say, okay, here's the program for everybody over 40. It may not work, right? Okay. Next question comes from Cheryl. She says, how do I become healthy again? All right, so let's think about what healthy people do. Healthy people move the appropriate amount, right? Healthy people have strong bones, strong muscles, so we want to build. Healthy people are eating whole foods, right? And cutting out a lot of the junk food. And healthy people are getting the proper balance of movement and rest, recovery, relaxation, good sleep, right? These are all important things. Making sure you're getting all of your nutrients, proper nutrients in, and really focusing on that self-care, right? Can't leave ourselves for last all the time. That's not healthy, okay? So Cheryl, we can have a personal conversation if there's anything in particular that you're struggling with in terms of your health. We also want to stay hydrated. That's another big one, which I know I'm not up on my water today, so I can't wait to hop off of here and go drink a ton of water. So let's see. Jessica asks, how do I lose belly fat? That's a popular question today. Katrina wants to know, how do I get hormones? Hysterectomy and surgical menopause is rough. So that might be something that you need to talk to your doctor about, get a panel done, see what's going on. And that's the thing, is sometimes hormone replacement therapy is right for somebody, but sometimes if we're not doing all the things that we can do naturally that would affect how our body responds to the hormone replacement therapy, then we're doing ourselves a disservice to skip steps and go straight to, hey doc, can you give me hormones to replace the ones that I'm losing? So that would be a doctor conversation, but we can also talk about the things that you can do, and those things are outlined in my Menopausal Metabolism Reboot. So that'll help a lot. But we can talk about it individually as well if you want to book a call with me. Otherwise, drop reboot in the comments below. Okay? Let's see. Sue says, why can't I get rid of these cottage cheese thighs? Well, Sue, you told me you were lazy. So number one, it's your goal of getting fit again, right? So exercise is going to help that. We do want to build more lean muscle in our body so that it will help to burn more fat, because ultimately the cottage cheese thighs, the cellulite, it all comes down to the ratio of fat in your body to muscle. And so a lot of people say, I even know a thin friend who has, a lot of cellulite and, cottage cheese thighs. Well, being thin does not make you full of muscle. It just makes you thin, right? And so thin people can have that problem too. So what I would do is I would say, let's focus on building muscle, which is going to require a muscle building nutrition diet, right? To support that, let's build the muscle, let's slim down a little bit, and you're going to see that cellulite go away, okay? So we have to be working at it. We have to care enough, right? So obviously, if you don't want that, if you wake up every day and you hate your thighs and you would go out in the heat we're having here, 90 something degrees, in pants because you don't want to show your thighs, that discomfort should be what pushes you to stop being lazy. And sometimes we just need a kick in the butt from somebody who is not our friend and not our spouse and not our sister or mother, but somebody whose job it is to say, hey, let's go. You've got a goal. Let's go get it. Here's the plan. Here's the steps. Go do this, right? I will mention that I had a call with somebody. I'm not going to say their name because I'm looking forward to them signing up with me on Friday, and that's because they had to wait for a paycheck, and there's nothing wrong with that. But they said to me that they really don't eat much all day, and then they have 3 to 4 beers at night, every night. And I was like, wow, that's a lot. We got to cut down on that, right? And so we haven't signed her up for the program. We haven't signed her up for anything yet because she got to wait for a paycheck. But I did send her my favorite podcast on alcohol consumption and its toxicity and what happens and what the body does when there's alcohol in there and all of the systems that are affected when you drink alcohol at all and in excess. And so it's like a 2-hour podcast. but it's so good. And it really changed my outlook a while back on how much I drink. I mean, I'm not giving up that fantastic sparkling sangria at this one restaurant we like to go to, but it's an occasional thing, not a regular thing. And I said, your one thing this week, before you even sign up with me, I want you to reduce to 1 a day, right? I'm not even telling you to eliminate. Just reduce from 4 to 1 a day. Ideally, 1 or 2 the whole week, right? And so she's not paying me to tell her that, but I don't mind kicking her butt a little bit. And I don't mind on Wednesday or Friday saying, hey, how you doing? Are you making any little changes? Because that's going to be what's required when we sign up, is some changes, right? And it's not going to have to be super drastic, but we're going to have to be willing to make some changes if we want to get to our goals, if they're important enough, okay? All right, let's take more questions. So Crystal asks, what does cortisol have to do with menopause belly? I explained that, and that's also explained in my menopausal reboot, Crystal. There's a lot of you who need to get this program, whether you do it with me one-on-one or in a group or DIY. It's not expensive. The do-it-yourself version is $127, and you get to keep it forever. You get 3 workshops. One's a masterclass with me on every stage of menopause, what's happening. You get the protocol for the 35 days, including the 5-day kickstart cleanse, nutrition plan, the protocol for exercise, stress management, and you get 2 bonus workshops, one with my friend Kira, who talks about the gut-brain axis and nutritional anxiety, and one with my friend Monica, who talks about how to help regulate your hormones through foods and naturally. And she is called the Hormone Detective, and she even gave us a quiz that you can take to see where your hormones are at and if you might have an imbalance if you're not sure. And so you get all of that in this amazing reboot for $127 with an option to add on 4 weeks of workouts for an extra $50. So if you're struggling with menopause and you want answers, this is your program. Totally worth every penny. Everybody who's done it will tell you that. Okay. Let's see. Judy asks, how do I find a plan or a lifestyle to follow that will enable me to lose some weight, get toned, and maintain it? She wants to lose about 10 to 15 pounds and get toned, and she says she just wants to find something that will work once and for all. So I will tell you, my biggest pet peeve is any plan that tells you to eliminate foods or go really extreme on one thing and only eat in this window, or don't eat any carbs, or this is bad, or whatever it is. And what I like is to find a lifestyle framework. And that's why I teach all very balanced frameworks for nutrition. But I also believe my big thing is that I have ADHD. And I can't stick to one thing for very long. I can't pay attention to things for very long, and I don't like to stick to anything for that long. So I need to have multiple ways to do nutrition that all make sense to me. And so I'll do one thing for, let's say, 3-4 weeks, and then I got to change it up because I literally just can't stick to it anymore. And when it comes to one meal plan, I can maybe stick to it for 4 days. By Friday, I'm like, oh, I'm so done with this food, right? Give me something different. So I think it's varying your plan, changing it up, having multiple frameworks for nutrition, and the same thing with fitness is not getting bored with your fitness routine after 3-4 weeks. So we change things up. We do things that will build your body and not just keep you in the same place, right? So if you just go out every day and do an hour of cardio, your body's going to pretty much stay the same, because then you're going to burn the calories, you're going to eat the calories, you're going to burn the calories, you're going to eat the calories. Your body's not going to change. So if you want to change, you're going to have to build muscle. That's going to be number one. It makes it so much easier to maintain, right? I have no problem maintaining. My scale, I've been waking up the last 6 weeks, almost 5 weeks, and my scale says the exact same number, down to the ounce. And yeah, I'm putting in effort. I'm putting in maintenance effort right now, right? And I am building muscle, but I'm eating for maintenance. And so it's going to take change, which is what I'm starting on Monday, in order to see change, okay? So that's going to be Number one, having a plan that jives with your lifestyle that you enjoy. Number two, having things that change often, having multiple tools, having accountability, having support, and building the body that will be easier to maintain. Those are your keys, Judy. We should have a chat. All right. Lisa R wants to know about macros. Macros can be taught in two different ways. You can have me teach you with a nutrition coaching package, and that's 3 45-minute calls with me, personal calls. So again, it's going to be you and me one-on-one where I'm teaching you how to do macros. You're going to go do it on your own, come back when you're ready. We do another call, go ahead and do it on your own. And when you come back the third time, if you love macros, we can keep teaching you, keep refining, meal plan together, do all the things. If you hated it, I'll teach you a new framework that maybe is similar in the thought process, but simpler in the execution. Okay, so that's a nutrition only coaching package if you're interested. The other option is I do have my Foods for Fat Loss Macros program on my website on JillOrtizFitness.com. If you go to programs, you'll see Foods for Fat Loss. It's a macros program, DIY style. It's very inexpensive. It's going to definitely be more expensive if you and I are doing private coaching calls. And I tend to also include more than just the nutrition on that. I give you a lot of here's some good practices for you to get results. And we go over your journey as a whole, right? Okay, last Lisa, one more question. She says, how exactly do I start a weight training routine with all of the exercises described and shown? You found the right girl for that. So prior to COVID, I was teaching 10 fitness classes a week at 3 different gyms all over town. I started doing that when I got fired from my job because I didn't want to be the CFO. I just wanted to start a fitness business. So I started building my business on my lunch hour, and everybody knew that I just didn't care anymore. I just really wanted to build my own business and have freedom so that when my oldest son went to kindergarten, I could be at home and not be in an office from 9 to 5. And so my boss finally let me go, and he said, go do your thing. You're not supposed to be here anymore. You got to go do your thing. And so I left, and then I had to peddle myself all over town, finding jobs at all these gyms. And I became, a group fitness instructor. And then everybody wanted to personal train with me. So I had to become a personal trainer. And then everybody needed nutrition help. And you can't do that as a personal trainer. You have to have certifications in nutrition coaching. And so I got those. And eventually I was building myself a business and working in the gyms, and then COVID hit and everything went virtual. So what I started to do then, after it took me 6 to 9 months of realizing we weren't going back to the gyms, that I started recording home workout programs that people who are beginner to advanced could all do. And so I now have 6 or so programs, maybe 7, and 1 in the works that I'm going to be recording at least a week's worth today when I hop off here. And those are really great programs for you to do at home with just a few sets of dumbbells. All you have to do is you have to just sign up with me. And again, there's 3 ways to work with me, right? Okay, so let's go over those. So the cheapest way with the least amount of personal interaction with me is going to be buying a program, either one program or subscribing to my monthly subscription on my website. So if you go to JillOrtizFitness.com/programs, you can see all of the DIY programs that I have on there. DIY meaning do it yourself. I remember when DIY really I feel like it only related to gardening. It was DIY your garden, make your own garden. Now it's everything, right? So the DIY fitness program means that you're signing up, you're doing the program. I know you're doing it because I get notifications when people complete workouts daily, and I get to see the names of all the people who are doing my programs. But we're not really doing any one-on-one coaching. And of course you can add in, a coaching call here and there and pay for that separately if you want to. The second way, so that's DIY. It's the cheapest. The second way is a step up financially and with regards to support, and that's group coaching. And so probably about once a quarter, I run a group coaching challenge. And so right now, the Fit and Fast Challenge, I told you, I put the link here. If you still want to join, you can still join. Started 2 days ago, so you're not late, you're fine. You can absolutely catch up because the workouts are only 20 minutes. And so that's a 4-week group challenge where everybody's doing the same workouts on the same, for the most part on the same days. You're all doing the same 4 weeks of workouts, and you're being taught the same one framework for nutrition, and you're supporting one another, and there's raffles every week for participation and all that good stuff. And you see me in the group, and I coach, via Facebook Lives and workshops and bonuses that I've put in the group, and that's the group coaching. And every day I'm in there, and if you comment something, then I'm answering questions. The third way to work with me and to start a weight training program would be my one-on-one program, which is Empowered Fitness Mastery. And so with that, we're really getting a lot deeper. We do private coaching calls, just you and me. I don't do any group coaching calls. They're exhaustive, they're really long, and a lot of times most people can't show up all at the same time anyways, and that's a pain trying to corral people to the same place at the same time. So it's one-on-one coaching calls. You are getting your fitness program on your time, and so you're following it in your time. And we also have group support as well for that. So I have a small roster of one-on-one clients, but they also support one another, and we keep each other accountable in a closed Facebook group. And then there's a million resources, and with that you get access to all of my stuff, all of the fitness programs and all of the nutrition programs and all of the master classes and the entire menopausal reboot and my Jill's Killer Abs and all the things that I've ever created. You get all of it. And so of course, if you're getting all the stuff I've ever created and one-on-one coaching, it is going to be the highest price of the 3 options. So it's tiered, right? So you've got the one-on-one highest tier, the group coaching tier, and then the DIY tier. And this is meant to help people and meet them where they're at so that everybody has a chance to start a strength training program, have nutrition that fits it, and really get to your goals. I want to go back to Lisa's whole thing here. So how exactly do I start a weight training routine? Ask the pro, right? We figure out which tier is best for you, and everything is perfectly described, shown, follow along. Most of my programs are follow along. It's not until you get to my advanced lifting program that you can take it to the gym and, do it on your own with the printouts. Otherwise, it's recorded classes. Her goal is to be fit and confident in her skin. This is what you need. You got to start doing it. And the reason why she hasn't gotten success is excuses and a lack of commitment and putting herself last. Lisa, V, it's time to put yourself first. You got to just sign up for one of these. You and I should have a call, figure out which one's the best for you, whether it's your commitment, your desire, your needs, your financial ability. We'll find the right path for you, but we got to get you going on it. Otherwise, you never change. And that's sad because you can. There's no reason you can't get the results that you want. Okay? I walk the walk. If you want to follow me, friend me, say hi, let's become friends. See my life, crazy lifestyle. And my whole house is upended right now because we had the carpets and the couches cleaned this morning. My boys are super busy with their soccer practices. One has 3 practices a week. The other has 2 practices a week. They both have games, opposite directions. They play for different clubs an hour apart. Life is crazy, right? And my husband and I like to have fun. We have 3 dogs. Life is crazy. But if you have a goal, go get it. I joined something super scary that I'm going to have to give a ton of effort and time, and I had to give my money to as well. But I want to achieve a goal. I want it. And I am worth it. And so I'm doing it. And I'm letting you know so that I can stay committed to it. All right? This was long. It was 45 minutes. We're usually 30 minutes, but I wanted to hit everybody's questions today. And I think I've done that. So shoot me a heart if you watched this. Let me know you watched. And set up your call with me. And let's get the ball rolling for you. All right? Bye.